Shaun Connors.
Thank you. Isn't it strange in England you tell the jokes about the Irishman? In Ireland, we tell them about the man from County Kerry, the Kerry man. Now, the only difference is he makes up the stories and he tells us. Now, you'll always know a Kerry man because he wears flared wellies. And he takes little steps at that because the string is still on the back. And you know a Kerry woman because she always wears her tights over her jeans. I met a Kerry man in Birmingham yesterday. He says, because he says the people in England are gone religious mad. Everybody's going around with a Bible under their arm. I didn't want to tell him it's just people bringing their video films back. He's driving through Birmingham in his new JCB GT. He breaks down, he gets on the phone to the AA, he says, could you come out quick? So what's wrong? He says, my new JCB GT has broken down. The fella says, what gear are you in? He says, me brown jacket and me grey trousers. It's only a joke. Well, the two of them get a job with the Birmingham Council laying the flagstones, and they're working away one day, and this fella pulls up in a big Rolls Royce, and he's watching them. The man says, would you have a look at that fella there? He's watching us very carefully. I wonder, is he in the same business as ourselves, laying the flagstones? I better talk to him. Because always says, how are you? He in the same business as ourselves, laying the flagstones? He says, no, he says, actually, he says, I'm a precision engineer. He says, never heard of that. He says, what does that mean? Well, it actually means, he says, I have to work to within 1,000th of an inch. Oh, it should be no good in our job, he says. We got to be spot on. It's only a joke. Thank you. Well, they win £500,000 on Littlewood's pools, and they're walking down, money coming out of every pocket. And they come to a chippy and says, one fellow says, Mick, I'm feeling very peckish. We'll go over there and get 2 bags of chips. So they walk over, get the chips, walking down the road, eating the chips. And they come to a big car showroom, and there's 2 brand new Mercedes in the window. Well, so Mick, he says, wouldn't you and I look very well driving around Kerry in those 2 big cars? We'll go in and get them. So he says, we'll have them 2 cars there. The man says, I'll get them. He says, no, you won't. He says, you got the chips. Thank you. Well, the ballroom of romance is back. The Locarno, the Mecca, the Ritz. A friend of mine was dancing around this American fella. He says, I work in a naval destroyer. Do you know what a naval destroyer is? Yes, he says, a hula hoop or a nail in it. They're coming home in the taxi, he starts messing and says, get your hands off me. He says, gee, baby, he says, you turn me on so much I can't take my hands off you. He says, do you want to see where I had my operation? He says, baby, would I love to see where you had your operation. He says, driver, take me round by Birmingham General. But who remembers years ago when the women didn't drink, when they were in the dance hall from early waiting on us, lined up against the far wall, with the cardigans on back to front. And we're over in the pub having a few drinks, and you haven't got a care in the world because there's somebody out there minding your bike. And you're standing there, 1 button draped drain pipes, margarine pouring down your forehead. Closing time comes, you drink up out of the pass out, cross the road, take up your position on the opposite wall, weighing up the women. And you always had a cigarette between you. Now, nowadays, people smoke like this. We used to smoke like that. What about those 2 women over there? He says, I don't like the look of your one. And the women used to talk as well. Now, my pal had a long nose. Now, it wasn't actually that long, but he could smoke under a shower. He was going over to ask this girl to dance, and I heard a pal saying, get out of the way quick, here comes Concord. But when you made your mind up, the blonde girl, dragging the cigarette, tap it, flow it into the top pocket. And the women always knew it was a Dublin fella, a city fella, or a Kerry fella coming over. Kerry fella coming over like this. And the 2 girls were saying, Mother of God, I hope that creep is not coming over to us. But he'd stand in front of her and he'd say, are you getting up? She'd say, ask me, pal, I'm sweating. And he goes up to her pal and he says, you dancing? And says, no, I'm holding down a loose floorboard. It's only a joke. Well, he grabs a hand, he starts shouting up, do you dance here much? He says, no, sometimes I dance over there. Where do you work? She says, McVitie's. So what do you do? He says, I mend the broken biscuits. Where have you been all my life? Well, for the first half I wasn't born. Says the second half I was hiding. Can I have the last dance? She says, you're having it. He says, can I drive you home? She says, have you a car? No, he says, a whip. And you give her a lift home on the racing bike with the dropped handlebars. You're pedaling for 45 minutes, you realise you're the other side of Dudley. By the way, where do you live? Wolverhampton. Says you, it's a pen pal you want. Well, you meet her the next night, you take her into the pub, and she's got about 10 vodkas, and she's sober as a judge. And you have 10 pints of Guinness, and you are stoned out of your mind. Closing time, she's helping you out the door. She says, I feel very hot. So I'm not surprised, get the price of a ton of coal inside you. Thank you. Well, I married the lady. Now, I know it's a woman's privilege to be ugly, but she abused the privilege. The priest said, do you take this woman to be your lawful wedded wife? I says, I do. The priest says, I'll ask you again. He says, do you take her for better or for worse? I says, I'll take her for better. If she gets any worse, I'll let you know. Well, we went on the honeymoon. It was time for bed. She says, Shaun, she says, the girls told me I was going to get what's what tonight, so you must have it. I said, that's very strange. She says, the lads told me I was going to get what's what, and I thought you'd have it. Well, she says, if you haven't got it and I haven't got it, they've hidden it. And we'll find it. Well, we're looking everywhere, through the cases, through the wardrobe, through the drawers. I get under the bed. As I'm getting out, the string of my pajamas caught in the spring of the bed. I stood up and pajama trousers fell down. She says, what's that? I says, what's what? She says, you've had it all the time. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got to go now, but I'll leave you with a little thought. In this day and age, some people think it's nice to be important. I think it's far more important to be nice. You've been very, very nice to me. Thank you very much. Good night and God bless.
Welcome back. Before the break, we were laughing with Shaun Connors. Well, what did you think? I mean, bearing in mind that anything you say could be taken down and used in evidence against you. Shaun Connors, we'll start with Faith, if we may.
What can I say about Shaun Connors? I thought, well, he's halfway there with an Irish accent like he's got anyway, right? He's got this lovely, warm personality. He radiates warmth. The way he puts them over and tells them, A1. In my book, I thought he was absolutely fabulous. I'd go and see him anywhere, really and truthfully.
Thank you, Faith. Bernie.
Yes, I thought he was terrific. As I said before, to do a stand-up comedy spot is the hardest thing to do. And Ireland have sent us some wonderful comedians. They're just really superb, like Harry Bailey, Frank Carson, and now we've got Shaun. And I hope tonight's show will be seen by bookers from all the various television channels, because I think we should, well, this man deserves to be seen very much again on British television. So good luck to Shaun.
Thank you, Bernie. John.
This laughing policeman was slick, relaxed, and very, very funny. He's a natural because he did what is almost impossible to do unless you get years of experience. He made it look effortless. He went out there and told joke after joke after joke, and I hope he gets his chance. He deserves it.
Thank you, Donald.